Yamunatira vanachari Yamunatira vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskaratya Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudhyaya. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan the Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead is praised with transcendental songs, established as an irrevocable fact. Om Agyantamarandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Bukam karati vachalam pangam lankayate girim yat kripa tadaham pande Shri Gurum Vinatarinam. Offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today we just wanted to, for a little treat, show you our latest little music video. It's called Two Lasting Friends, and it's about Krishna and Sudama. And we can turn the lights off. We want to make sure that there's going to be, okay, volume will be up. Very few people know about these things that we have going on the YouTube channel. You just have to let it be known. Okay. So this is uh, off the press, and we showed it last Wednesday. Okay. Two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drum. They shared times together at their guru's classes, and where creation near the cows feeding on grasses. At break time they were given chores to do, a guru's training taken seriously by the two. A specific task came from the guru's wife, seen as mother, an integral part of Vedic life.
She requested items which the forest offers, flowers, fruit, plants, stand, and others. Dutifully they went happily to the task. Through the trees, keeping in mind what was asked. Two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drama. The atmospherical conditions made a sudden turn. Winds picked up, rains came, temperature not warm. The sun was setting, so the trail was obscure. The boys were in peril and were lost for sure. When they did not return, anxiety levels were intense. Due to the storm and the darkness so dense. The guilt felt by guru and wife was so high. A search party of classmates concerned. Did they die? Two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drama. Night fell, and so did the storm. The sun rose. By fortune, providence was in favor of the boys. All were relieved, a new day came for a reset. All cherished this moment that was hard to forget. Years had expired, but Krishna and Sudama separated. Sudama was married now, their life was regulated, though conditions were poor. Something had to change. His wife suggested that Krishna could arrange two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drama. Sudama agreed that Krishna had wealth and facility in the extravagant place known as Dwarka City. The journey was long and hard, though traveling light, carrying a small pouch of rice, all wrapped in tight. The actual city was a grand fort. He was in awe of the buildings and architecture rendered without flaw. The mere sight humbled him ever so more through gorgeous parks, gardens, gates, and doors. Two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drama. He was escorted to Lord Krishna's fine quarters. Krishna was relaxing with Rukmini, his black partner, and surprised at seeing his dear old friend. He offered him warmth as he was turning to a great extent. The two chatted about times old and current, but the topic of Sudama's poverty was silent. He and spouse resided in a hut, food hard to come by. Now Krishna noticed the pouch dangling on his side. Two lasting friends, Krishna and Sudama. Their story plays out as a sweet drama. What have we here? You definitely have something. Embarrassed, Sudama denied nothing. Krishna was quick to snatch and hit the contents. So pleased, he arranged for his friend to be out of the tent. When Sudama returned to his village to a different home, his good wife was full of joy, more than she ever known. This new mansion became a functioning temple of devotion. Sudama was overwhelmed by Krishna's every motion. He was so grateful for his special connection with Krishna, who always gives a bhakti injection. The bond between these two is sustained to eternity, one we all can have when taking the opportunity.
So I hope you enjoyed that. I spotted another couple of spelling mistakes. In the future, you have to go by the book. But thank you very much, Nityananda. He put all the hard work in. I just wrote the poem and then he put magic to it. Haribo. There's a flower that rocks his face at one point. In small details. Thank you. Did you enjoy that? Okay. I'll just like to introduce Tom Copperwas, a good friend of the temple. And he's a regular contributor to the temple every year. And yeah, he joined it back in 78, was it? Mhm. Used to live in Oakville. I used to. And then you lived on the balcony with a sort of a facade wall for a while. Okay, all right, thank you. And you live in Windsor, and you're here to spend some time here with the devotees and be at the library, right? Thank you. So we can all introduce ourselves. Okay.
My name is Sarthak.
Sartak.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My name is Premananda Rajeshwar. Prema.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Hare Krishna. My name is Rohan.
Rohan.
My name is Nityananda. Shivananda. Hare Krishna. Arun.
Aryan.
Hi, Krishna. My name is Subhadra.
Subhadra.
Jai. We have a few other devotees here, and Monday and Tuesday are quiet days for them. It's when they catch up on things. And some of them went to the hospital for one of our devotees. Dina Tarini, I hope she's okay. She had some attack or something last night. Something happened to her yesterday. You don't know about it. Now you do. All right, Bruce, thank you very much. Some people had asked me about the travels that I did. Those girls are not here, so I don't know. I guess we'll wait till tomorrow or something. Bruce, what are we looking at? What verse?
1 to 16 to 22, and then focusing on 17.
One. So it's the first canto,
Second chapter,
second chapter,
from verse 16 to 22,
from 16 to 22.
and focusing on 17.
Oh, okay, and this is going to be up on the screen, right? Okay, when it's ready, we'll read it together. Okay, we got it? 16 to 22. Okay, everyone together. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. Sri Krishna, personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous, properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus, established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of God in the stage of liberation for all material association. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. Certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going at
17.
17. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, a very important shloka. Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Ridyantasto Yabhadrani Vidunoti Surit Satam. So we're going to take turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone takes a line, okay?
Srinatam Swakatha Krishna.
Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Would you like to try? Redyantasto Yabhadrani Vidunati Surit Satam. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Yabhadrani Vidunoti Surit Satam. Very good. Srinvatam, those who have developed the urge to hear the message of. Swakata, his own words. Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Punya, virtues. Shravana, hearing. Kirtana, chanting. Hridi antastaha, within one's heart. He certainly, abhadrani, desire to enjoy matter. Vidunoti, cleanses. Surit, benefactor. Satam, of the truthful. We'll read this together. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. And purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai. Okay, it's a page long. Get ready for the fun. Okay? Messages of the personality of God, Sri, are non-different from him. Whenever, therefore, offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that Lord is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his Shikshastra, declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all the potencies of the Lord, and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time. Anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind. So that's a good effort. Okay. Good try. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no for and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for and saying the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotee of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. You got it wrong. Okay. The Lord is more anxious to take us into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few people want to go back to Godhead. But any who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. Very good. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly
Oh, wait. Think of
cleared. Very good. You said that. Of all sins. Yes. The material sins are products of our desires to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. Very good. But when one is helped by the Lord himself, the whole process becomes as
easy.
easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. Did you get that one thing? Thing? Do you remember thing?
Let me see, that's from,
Uh,
family,
yeah.
right? That's where you got it from.
Yeah. We were always all raised by the same television shows in those days. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment because every living being is associated with such things from remote, practically immemorial. And it takes to recover from this foreign nature. If one is in hearing the glories of the Lord,
Constantly,
More
always, consist,
continuously. Step by step. Step.
steadily.
give me G, gradually. Okay, you know, okay. Gradually, he relishes his real position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances. And gradually, all disturbing elements are
Remove, vanish, clear, clear.
give me L, eliminated from his life. Thank you very much, Prabhu. I must say, this is a favorite verse. Prabhupada would like to quote it. And one of the reasons is because when you think about the mottos or you think about the thematic elements of our Krishna conscious philosophy, One of the big ones is sound. Now, sound is none different from God, and all the potencies of God are invested in this holy name. That's also mentioned in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shikshastakam. In the Bible, they also have a saying there. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And then, are you familiar with that? In the beginning, in the beginning. It's nothing to do with hockey. In the beginning. In the beginning. The Word was with God. You know, the sound is none different from God. That's what is implied there. And those who take to the sound, expose themselves to this holy sound, they get some special benefit. Incredible benefit, because they're making connections with God personally. So God is present in the heart. That's also mentioned in various places in the Bhagavad Gita. Quite a few, honestly. Krishna says, I am the heart of all. There's a whole chapter devoted to this, this idea of God in the heart. The kshetra, the body is compared to a kshetra, a field. And in this field, there's a proprietor, which is the living entity. And then there's a second one who's ultimately in charge, and that is the Paramatma, God in the heart. It is said here that it is virtuous to take to this chanting process, and therefore we do it constantly. Those who are engaged in chanting and hearing the sound, accompanied with service, because it's not good enough just to hear it. When you're hearing our divine philosophy, and also what that sound, when it comes to simple mantras, what it means, what it does for you. If you just don't have that, uh, you know, element of service in your life, you're only getting out a little, you can only go so far devotionally. So it's important to put practice in our efforts. Now, Prabhus, all of you are familiar with the 10 offenses, right? You all know the 10 offenses. We recite them in the morning. And it's, uh, it's important not to make offenses against the holy name. But we have to stretch the reality a little bit more. Everything that we do is classified as devotional service to Krishna, not just chanting. So when we make offense and say, like, inattention to what you're doing, that in one way goes against you. But frankly, anybody who makes some kind of effort, even if it's half-hearted, you make some progress. Even if you're not fully cognitive of the power of the holy name, still you get some benefit. Isn't that redeeming? Isn't that nice to know? How many people here are totally focused, 10%, 100% when they're chanting Hare Krishna? Amen. Put up your hand. How many people fail at this endeavor? Put up your hand. Can you put it up a little higher? Okay. We fail in this endeavor, but it's through devotional service that things, let's say, will improve. We go through what we call a clearing phase with chanting. Now, when Prabhupada first started the movement, you all have heard before, 64 rounds. Can you imagine? They have found it hard to do. So then he reduced it to 32. And he found that hard, because that's like 4 hours plus. Then he cut that in half into 16. And he said he won't lower that figure, that number. He's going to stay there. Has to be some discipline. But even in those 2 hours, it is possible that, Maya can wedge her way in and make it difficult for us to focus. Krishna gives some hint as to what you can do about that. He says, whenever the mind goes off, bring it back under the control of the self. The mind does wander. It goes all over the place. The mind will be in Windsor 1 minute. It'll be on the moon another minute. It'll be in India. Yeah, your favorite place of pilgrimage. You know, we're thinking about prasadam, all those things. So we lose focus, we lose attention. But by engaging in service, practical service, just like we're looking at Sudama and Krishna, and they went to the Gurukul in Sanipani Muni's ashram, and they had services to render. The wife of Sanipani Muni asked, okay, you can go get some herbs from the forest. You can collect some items that we need for yajna or puja, you know, for offering to the Lord. And so they did that. And rendering practical service is really the way to go, instead of just chanting all day long. You know, I have friends who have been involved in different yoga societies. And there's one particular lady, her name was Shanti. She was quite something. But anyways, I mean to say, a little difficult to deal with. I'm not talking about our Shanti. Wait a minute. Yeah. There's another Shanti. And she said, well, in our yoga community, where we went for a cleanse, and cleanse means taking a lot of lemon and chili and that kind of stuff. And, you know, but it says in our yoga society, we would have a section of doing karma yoga. They call that karma yoga when you do practical things, but cleaning the floor, kitchen work, you know, decorating, that kind of thing. They call that karma yoga, which is not inaccurate. Yoga means to link up with Krishna, and karma means to be active, you know, to use your physical skills. Just like Alex, our Alex who lives here, he's very good with his hands, you know, and every time he does something, it becomes kind of magical, isn't it? Said, I wish I had those skills, you know. So let's say running parallel to chanting, for instance, is the practice of bhakti yoga, what some people call karma yoga. And karma yoga, as the phrase is used in the Bhagavad Gita, eventually morphs into bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga, in its pure sense, is realized when we don't have those distractions. We have pure motives. And there's none of this like influence of the mode of ignorance. You know, Kapila Dev, he was speaking to his mom about the different levels of the devotional service. You're aware of that, right? He was talking about service in goodness, passion, ignorance. Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, the three energies. And so sometimes devotional service is executed in a way that's a little bit begrudging. Oh, do I have to? You know, yeah, your mind says, do I really have to do this? Do I really have to get up this early? Do I really have to take a cool shower? And the answer is yes. A resounding yes. Where there's some discipline, beautiful things will manifest. It's a beautiful verse from many points of view. You know, this one and the next one, Ashtapurisha Vidrishu, chosen by devotees to be verses they wanted to memorize from the heart. And going back to today's, Shravanam means to hear. So that's the root word is derived. This Shrinvatam comes from Shravanam. And then Kata means to speak out. What are we speaking out? Krishna Kata. Swakatha Krishna. Chapter 10 from Bhagavad Gita. Does anybody know that one? Where it said, great souls, they engage in glorification of Krishna. They enlighten one another, conversing about me. and they are let's say getting some benefit. Tushanti cha, ramanti cha. Tushanti, you know what tush means, or tushanti?
Conversing.
Huh?
Conversing.
Conversing, tushanti, not exactly.
Satisfied.
Kata is the word. Yes, satisfaction. Tushanti cha, ramanti cha. What does rama mean?
Bliss.
Bliss, happiness. Yes. Yeah. Very good. So there's joy that comes from doing things when you're conscious of what you're doing. And some people are just kind of automatic. Have you ever been to buy groceries or something like that? You go to Loblaws or something like that, and they take the items, they run it by, just zzz, zzz, zzz. It comes so automatic. It's like you don't even know what you're doing anymore after a while. And like sometimes we're a little bit, let's say, relaxed and complacent when we drive. You know, we drive. I remember seeing just on Davenport, there was a man with his daughter in her little buggy, you know, like that. And there was one woman that came out and she was almost hit the man and his, baby, almost hit. And he got pretty angry with the woman, and the reason why she wasn't watching, she was on the cell phone. So, get on that phone. He was just really on her case. Of course, it's justified. So this is why inattentiveness. We live in an age of inattention. We're not very conscious. We don't pay attention to detail. How many times has Prabhupada used this phrase? Pay attention to details. And he said, like, in regards to cleaning the temple, instead of cutting corners, he say, get that mop and get every corner. And when you do clean the temple, it's like cleaning your heart. He said, there's no difference. Psychologically, like that. See if you cut corners, oh, it's too much. I'm taking them off. I'm coming along here, and it's just kind of just lower this unit. Whatever's convenient. But if I actually lift this and get underneath, which is probably lots of crap, then I'm doing my job. Paying attention to the details of my cleaning. Right? So that's what's really important. Get to the detail. And then you can be more precise. Then we're really, just say, pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of great souls like Srila Prabhupada and all the other people we just mentioned, Kapila Dev and all that. So devotional service, don't forget, it is pure, but our intent is not so pure often. So our services are tainted with, well, tamagun and rajagun. You know? And just like we always say that, people when they come first, you mean I have to give up onions and garlic? I mean, they are vegetables, right? After all, they're vegetables, herbs, whatever you want to call them. They are. But when you look at their quality, uh, you can get aphrodisiac, like let's say hypes. You can, because they're harsh and pungent, it excites you more than you need to be. To put it very simple, everyone's always, let's say, people are horny anyways. So you don't need to, the term, right? You don't need to have anything else there to buzz you up even more, to get more excited, to be aroused, there's no need for that. So it's good to eat food so somebody will say it may pass. Oh, these are veggies in that category, but they do have the quality of passion and ignorance, rajas and tamas. Okay. In fact, the last place that I stopped at before coming back here was in New Jersey. And there's a kind of strip plaza, along the way where I was walking. So there's one area where the garlic is so strong, it just, you almost want to faint. Oh my God, it was so bad. And then it was confirmed by my host. Oh yeah, this is an Indian area. So as Vaishnavas, we don't take to those harsh foods because it affects you negatively. And by the way, have you ever spent time with somebody who's always cooking onions? It's in their clothes, it's in their breath, and it's in their walls of their house. Some real estate agents have problems selling those houses. The realtor, it's in the walls. It's so thick. So you can, for sure, you cannot put those, they're like onions and say garlic under the category of sattvic, under that umbrella. No, you cannot do that. Okay. Anyways, we go for purity, and it just means you have to keep at it. Don't give up. Do not be a quitter. Don't be a hoser. Okay. Have you ever heard that term lately?
I'm not a host head myself.
Okay.
For sure.
Just let everybody know there were a couple of comedians. They were in the 80s, and they came up with the "Hey, you hoser." Nobody had ever used that before. You hoser means you loser. And it kind of just sounds like derogatory hoser. So all we're saying, don't be a hoser, don't be a loser, but be a winner. Conquer. Let's conquer. Conquer the senses. That means pay attention to details and apply your heart as best as it can. This verse really, forget that. This is one of the key words here. Really. I would think executed from the heart. That's important. What are the other important words here? Show me what does that mean?
Listening.
What?
Listening.
Listening? Swakata Krishna. That's
Hearing about Krishna.
talking about Krishna. And what is this?
Punyasha.
What does punya mean? Pious deeds. Yeah. Chalavana Kirtana. Get this significant.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And should be coming from here.
Purify heart.
And do it as much as possible. Okay, great.
Yes.
That's it. Questions, comments? Yes. I guess I understood.
Gave us some wonderful words. You mentioned about the onion and garlic. I have one thing like that. Like in India, in the restaurants, people serve onion with lemon at first because it increases the urge to eat more. Like that. So
Right.
Yeah, that's the main reason why people always give onions first so that you can eat more and they order.
Right,
The
right.
strategy is for you.
So what quality is that? What kind of
Passion.
passion? Exactly. And passion, is it favorable or unfavorable? Is it favorable?
Okay.
Unfavorable, yes. I mean, passion is necessary if you want to have babies and you want to build a house and a temple and all those kind of. You take up a project and their passion has to be applied. That's true. But we have to look at what is the project. Anything else?
Yeah, and one more question. You mentioned Maharaj, you can increase the dialogue, like the urge to hear more by doing practical devotion service.
Yes.
So, is there any you can recommend us like any suggestion from Prabhupada also? Like, if you don't like to hear some time, so how
You don't like to hear. Well, the best time to hear, let's look at time. The time factor is always important. Or in the morning, when your head is clear. Isn't it? Brahma Muhurta hour. That's one thing. Select the right time. That's important. Also, maybe you want to calm yourself down in the evening. So you do that by, again, hearing something that's very sublime. And then usually you go by 3 times a day. That's really, it hits the spot. When the sun is up at the highest point. Maybe you've been moving in the direction of a lot of rajas, passion. And you feel I need a break now. So you do it at high noon. Some reading. Brahmins, they do their Gayatri mantras. You feel a need to have a break. I know for myself personally, when I'm in a crowd, like, we had quite a few programs last week, and there's a lot of demands, for a sannyasi, even if it comes to eating. Oh, please, you have to try this. I'll try this dokla. Okay, I'll try the dokla. And then another lady comes with another form of dokla. So you have to try this. And just like continues to be a little bit bothersome or at least challenging. Yeah. So somehow or other you have to put limitations down. Limitations. And yeah, so, if you want to stimulate something inside of you to eat more, do that. I mean, you know what the Romans used to do. Did you ever hear about the Romans? Well, party time, okay? They'd eat and eat and eat. What do they call it? Gluttony? Be gluttons. And then just to continue to party more, they'd stick something down their throat, like a stick down there, and that enables the food to come up so that you'll have more room to eat more.
Oh, Krishna. Really?
Yeah, oh, Krishna, for sure. And that's what they used to do in their merrymaking. I mean, that's what people do at the parties. They do ridiculous things. They overeat, they overdrink, and then everything becomes very obscured. You're not able to talk well, you're not able to walk well, and you shouldn't be behind the wheel. And so, what a culture, right? Well, yeah, do you have a question?
Uh, but I like the point where you said that see everything as service, and like, as we see chanting, sometimes we go here and there, we see that it's offensive. So similarly, everything that we do, if you're not doing it properly, then see that you're doing some kind of offense, and at least do it, try to do it properly.
Yes.
And you also talked about discipline. You said discipline is beautiful. So I want to know, progressing in Krishna consciousness, how to get more and more discipline, or should we add something to our sadhana, or like discipline is we have like two things, we do reading or chanting, we will continue this for a long time, or as we grow older and mature, should we add something?
Well, one thing that like, anytime I go through some of the verses in chapter 6 from the Bhagavad Gita, they're very stimulating from the point of view of discipline. It's a real good chapter for invoking that kind of desire to be very determined and be disciplined in your tapasya. So I find that helps. And just to answer a question, like this is an answer for almost anything that you ask in Krishna consciousness. What's the special secret for making progress? And that secret comes in the form of associating with strong people. It's always boils down to that. Like, let's say you want to start a business, you want to start you become a grahasta or something like that. You want to start a business and you're thinking about your future, when you have a family and all that kind of stuff. So to get into the business world and be successful, you go to a school for business, or you associate with people who are into business, or you just cling on to people who have that, kind of push and pull and that inner drive to go and make some money. And you go and you just share all this passion, pick up on this, becomes contagious. Yeah, making money. It's not on its own. Making money is not a bad thing. It just depends on what you do with it. Yeah, so I'd say associate with people who are spiritually strong. Um, read, read from God, chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita. That's another point we can do. And I think what always helps stimulates people, keep very clean, hygienic, take those showers, wear clean clothes, to go feel good, and then you feel I can move ahead. So it's very hard when you're in ignorance. I want to emphasize that. People who don't bathe very often, it's very hard for them to become productive. In the mode of ignorance, it's hard to be productive. It's very hard. You lack the inner drive. Yeah. The passion is not there. Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for sharing these points of associating with strong people or strong devotees. I remember uh, when I used to do some service, I always used to think that what's in here for me, or very bodily conscious.
Mhm.
But when I am seeing here some of the devotees, 8 hours straight, they're not even. If someone comes from outside and they have to serve them, so they're doing service and then completely immersing in service. So that's not my nature. That was not my nature. But seeing them doing, oh, it is possible. Yeah, for example, Subhadra Prabhu, she like when she do services, 8 hours straight, 6 hours straight. You have some chance. Like, yeah, I will. So, but this was not my nature. I was like, first me.
Mhm.
I have to be this. I have to be this. My rules, my this, and then others.
Right,
Like others first.
right.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the others. Right? You're part of the family. Do something for the family, do something for the community. And because you're part and parcel of that group of people, then you benefit. Yeah. Work for the whole, and then you are part and part. Yeah. That's right. We learn to be less self-centered. Good.
Amala has a question.
Kamala?
How to avoid laziness and practicing discipline?
Uh, what I was saying to Sartak, or was it maybe it was everyone, I'm not sure who was it, but it's an association, just you want to not be a lazy person, associate with people who are not lazy. It's just really simple, Uh, it's kind of like example is given. Association is like looking at a crystal stone. You see some reflection. So if you associate with people who are very tamasic, you're going to get that way. Just like if you're spending time with someone, on a regular basis, and they're always using the F word, you're going to start to say, "Oh, I never used to do this before." But because you're hearing it, you're getting that association that's just sort of coming out unexpectedly. So really getting strong association is important.
But what Maharaj, if in some situations we don't have that associations, how can we move on?
The association is here. The association is somewhere. Maybe they come on Sunday. You get that. Now there's gazillion verses, let's say talks, what devotees call lectures. Come on, there's got to be something that stimulates you. But you don't have to go so far away. In your own community, you'll find enlightened people. Prabhupada used to say around every corner there's a Brahmin, percentage wise. Associate with those kind of people. I remember one of our devotees, anytime I was going to Miami, this one devotee, a doctor friend of mine, he'd take me to this place where they have all kinds of groceries and they also have like a restaurant. And this guy, he is like a Latino person. And it's so interesting to watch. Anybody who comes in, they get a special greeting or they're joked about. This fellow gives them special attention. It's so much fun. He's an entertainer. He's an ideal host. So you want to be with him. You want to be in his presence. That's important. Go gravitate to the people that enthuse you. Okay. Would you like to say anything? Tom, anything of it?
Sorry?
Would you like to say anything in relation to
I was just
the
thinking, you
theme?
were saying, people, discipline. Most people I find are really disciplined in, activities around their families.
Mm,
It's generally what I find in our society, I believe.
mm,
Not just making money, but the money is for the families.
right.
And
That's their impetus, right?
yeah, yeah, that life seems to be the main focus for
Mm.
Canadian culture, I think.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Spiritual activities are often just made of sentiment,
Mhm,
like going to the church once a week, that sort of thing.
mhm.
But this sort of activity is pretty special and unique.
Mhm.
There may be a Brahmin around every corner, but some of those corners are pretty big. I mean, take a while to find them.
No, they're there.
Yeah.
They're there. Yeah, they put me in the 1A seat in the airplane yesterday. It was just an hour flight. And next to me was a lady. She was very, you could tell she's like a Brahminical person. I didn't really have a chance to, but the way she treated people, the way she talked, and the airline stewardess and all that, you could tell she's a very giving kind of person. So they're around. They're not that far away, arm's length. Speaking of which, now we're going for our
Yes.
exercise, right? Yeah. Peruse. So thank you very much, Tom, for that. This is your family,
Extended. Right.
definitely. Jai Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sundari Vachapatita Bhavani Vyavaishnavedi Namo